Hi, I'm Dr. Gilgamesh, and I'd like to introduce you to my podcast, Emotional Anatomy. It's an intelligently designed anatomy that has as its goal the recruiting your interest and curiosity as to how it works so that you can become more familiar with it and, as a result, better at it and enjoy it more. Welcome. Hi, it's Dr. Gilgamesh again. And I'm going to introduce you to emotional anatomy now by helping you see the brain in action. I'm going to try to help you coordinate 4 aspects of your brain. Your intellect, that's what I'm appealing to right now, is going to be learning this vocabulary to assist you in recognizing that your memory brain is going to offer you clues to what we're searching for within your emotional anatomy. 3, your lizard brain becomes useful to assist you in developing this coordinated effort, and your emotional brain will discover that within your emotional anatomy, you're going to find your heart's home. Now, your heart's home is an experience that is real within the emotional anatomy. I suppose that some of you might actually recognize what heart home means already, just by the words. But still, let me try to describe. For instance, go to a memory. Go to a memory that's your favorite. Sunsets, waterfalls, rainbows, starry night sky. Now, some people can't come up with a memory like that. But as an example, standing next to a waterfall, just blown away by its awesome power, or a sunset, or a sunrise, a walk in the forest, a quiet, peaceful stream, a meadow, a memory, an actual memory that allows you to understand how peaceful and wonderful it is. It's your heart's home. Now, this vocabulary is going to gradually develop, but I'm going to use these 4 elements of your brain working together. This is an anatomy. This is something laid down by DNA. It's not going to change. Use your hand as an example. It's not going to change. And so take your intellect as a place to begin. How do you like oxygen? To answer that question, your intellect had to remember and say, oh boy, can't live without it, and I like it just fine, etc., etc. And to understand, your intellect realizes, hey, that oxygen is free. Wow. Want some more? Okay, well, this begins the navigation of emotional anatomy. Again, it's a vocabulary that's growing on us. And so the more you listen to these videos, click on the next one, you'll get some more. And the more you review this, the more familiar you become with what is actually a personal experience of human emotional anatomy. And my argument is that freedom versus slavery summarizes the entire experience, because without understanding, your emotional anatomy generates emotional reflexes that overwhelm and prevent your intellect from recognizing that there is a heart's home, a more comfortable place to experience and understand what we're discussing. Okay, so you got this memory, and I'm going to choose sunrise in Nova Scotia. Okay, so for me, I'm standing alone on the beach, and there had been a rain shower, etc., and here comes this sunrise, and off in the distance, rainbows, clouds with their wonderful whispers of rain falling from them, and all the colors of the rainbow in the sunrise. Awesome. I can still remember it. I still feel it. It's still wonderful. And of course, part of my heart's home wishes that that significant other was there with me, but that's also part of other memories. Okay, so we've got a memory. Then we're using our intellect to remember oxygen. It's free. What do you say when you get a gift? Thank you. This is intellectual. You've been well trained and you understand these principles that are going to be unchanging throughout time. All right. So the intellect now is going to coordinate with the memory, but in order to emphasize what we're searching for within the emotional anatomy, we're going to talk about a lizard brain experience. The lizard brain is part of the brain that even lizards have, right? They breathe, they have bowel movement, they have skin temperatures and eye focusing and all the automatics of this body of ours. And it comes out of a very primitive, central processing unit inside the brain. These basal ganglia are operating without your permission, and they keep us alive. Okay, so that's your lizard brain, but how do we know what it is that we're looking for? Let's use the lizard brain to do so. Can you feel your body relax when you blow out your breath? As many people have said to me, USA. All right, a relaxing experience which is felt at the core of your being. Likely the lizards feel it while they're bathing in the sun. Okay, likely we could feel it as we watch that sunrise. And then I remember the feeling. But in order to emphasize the feeling that we're after, we've got to go to the core of the lizard brain and get the automatic reaction and sense it so that I can refer back and understand what I mean by your heart's home. Okay, because this is navigation of emotional anatomy. I'm boringly repetitious, I know that. But each time you listen to one of these podcasts, you're going to get the opportunity to feel it, dance it, etc. And should you join us for the opportunity to dialogue in a Facebook, exclusive Facebook group, you'll have the chance to put in your own ideas, interact with others that are doing the same, and I'm going to be there putting in my ideas and reacting to your ideas. And gradually a vocabulary will develop that will allow you to say, hey, wait a minute, why do you call it lizard brain? Why isn't it something else? Reptilian brain, oh, that might be the same thing. These are ideas that have been used for years. And they're not new to you, I'm sure, but the idea is to put them all together and coordinate them. And I'm recruiting your intellect to buy into the idea that they can be coordinated. Now I'm going to use the drama of the lizard brain to help us recognize the feeling of the sunset. And that is barely make it to the bathroom on time. Yeah, there's the sunrise. Wow. And that's what we're searching for, is a state of mind that would allow you to flip back into your own memory and come up with 1,000 memories possibly for the luckiest of us that are heart home. Now, one person said to me, Monopoly with the family. All right. Another person said to me, snorkeling, scuba diving, other ways of finding it, swimming. You see, other ways of finding this heart home. But now, watch what happens in order to achieve through your heart's home a recognition of the unique and intelligently designed awareness that emerges from navigating this pathway. It's a brand new pathway. It's not yet been described. And by joining and involving yourself in this exclusive Facebook group, which, by the way, I'm putting a $10 price tag on the joining because I want the people who are going to be willing to contribute and think about it and help this vocabulary evolve until finally the elementary school teachers will be able to teach it to the kids. They'll be teaching the kids that in order to learn, it's better to experience through your heart's home. And a vocabulary like this is going to take years to develop because not everyone's going to accept it immediately. That's all right. I'm not going to give up. I've taken a long time to get here, and it'll take me a long time perhaps to reach that number of people necessary to begin accepting that there is a vocabulary to assist you in achieving this experience. Okay, so now let's add the emotional anatomy. Follow this navigation pathway through the ocean of emotion. You've heard me probably comment on that before, but you're navigating as though swimming within the emotional anatomy, as though swimming within the ocean of emotion. And whoa, sharks, storms, waves, all kinds of possibilities that can be used as metaphor to assist you in seeing that the ocean of emotion is not always smooth, but navigation means that you can find your way through it and not get blown out of the water, so to speak. All right, that would be the advanced skill. And in later videos and on this exclusive group, you'll be able to hear specifics of emotional anatomy that I've discovered with other people who are working with me. And some of them will actually come on the podcast with me and we'll explore their emotional anatomy in front of you. That'll be the gift and pleasure that we would then have to share with the world. For this vocabulary one day will be refined enough to be captured by the educational community. Right now, I believe it's going to require physicians to recognize that this is a brain. It's not going to change. Anatomy does not change. You can't cut it out. You can't change it. So much of the philosophies of psychological science in the United States of America has been to try and change the brain. Sorry, it isn't going to change. Check it out. Oh, you don't want it to change. Ouch. All right, so sometimes the brain has been wounded, ouch, but it'll be by recognizing that wound that you'll begin navigating emotional anatomy and no longer being victim of emotional anatomy, but in fact confident in your exploration. So the final emotional pathway is to follow gratitude into your heart's home. Let's put it all together. Imagine your favorite scene, my Nova Scotia sunrise. Take in that oxygen, it's free. Barely make it to the bathroom on time in order to emphasize the feeling we're searching for now, conceptually seeing that sunrise. Thank you. Gratitude. Sincere gratitude. You can imagine where you've been grateful before in order to catch on to sincere gratitude, and that you'll begin to be able to recognize that barely make it to the bathroom on time generates a feeling that's very similar to that sunrise, or very similar to the feeling that you had during that sunrise. That's our goal. Our goal is to be able to get back to your heart's home, because through your heart's home, you're going to see more clearly what it is that's trying to prevent you from returning to your heart's home. And that's the wounded emotional anatomy. Etched into the brain, emotion that was wounded early on can be identified precisely. So accurately, it's scary sometimes. And in fact, that's the emotion we were looking for. But we're investing in your confidence, the confidence that can explore the ocean of emotion and not get lost. Please join us in this conversation that we might improve it for the world. Thank you. I'm genuinely excited about bringing you a new awareness of the mind and how it works. Emotional anatomy, heart-home wisdom, being able to see through the lens of awe and wonder. These podcasts are free. but you can contribute to them and make them possible through patreon.com/emotional anatomy. Please also join us on our Facebook group. Thank you.